Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my June 2022 book haul. I am looking at a dying battery on this camera, as I am wont to do, so hopefully I can make this a little quicker than some of my most recent videos. I don't have a lot of books to talk about, but I guess I will get to them. Well, first, a brief caveat to say that a lot of my book buying this month was predicated on events that happened last month. Particularly in May, one of my favorite book fests came back in person, the Gaithersburg Book Festival, which I chronicled on this channel. I'll leave my video link down below. And one of the events I do at this book festival is I go to the tables that the Friends of the Library in my county set up for, buying used books. And once you buy a few books from there, you get a coupon for, some money off if you want to go to one of their, standing stores and do more buying. So that's what I did this month. I went ahead to actually their new location. They just opened a new Friends of the Library bookstore in the renovated Wheaton Library in Montgomery County, Maryland. It's a really snug little place in the bottom of this very stately looking library. And it was nice. I thought, it had a lot of space for a lot of different genres of books. I definitely could spend some time there, so I thought I would share a brief bit of footage with you now. Okay, and on to the books. I was good when I went to the used bookstore this time. What I try to do is not buy anything that isn't already on my sprawling TBR list of books I add in whenever I see mention of a book that is of interest of me online, and then I add it to this list. And then I go through, and what I enjoy doing at used bookstores is going through like a scavenger hunt, seeing if I can find, those titles on the shelves. And at this particular store, I found 4 books, which actually is a little low for me and my usual with the Friends of the Library, but I guess it's fine. I don't actually need to buy a whole lot of books self. So here is what they were. The first book I found is called The Last Cruise by Kate Christensen, which I saw mentioned a few years ago on the Jewish Book Council. This is a multi-POV novel following various passengers and staff on a vintage ocean liner making its final trip across, the seas. And one of the characters is an aging violinist from Israel, so that's, I guess, where the Jewish rep comes in, and there's a variety of other characters as well. And I enjoy these sorts of group stories where you get various sorts of perspectives about what it's like to be on an ocean liner and hopefully other things about their lives as well. The next book I found is Miss Burma by Charmaine Craig, which also was featured, I'm sure, on the Jewish Book Council website a few years ago. This is historical fiction taking place in 1939 in Burma. It is about a mixed family and how they all get together. I believe the father is a Jewish officer in the British Customs who marries into a Burmese family, and it'll probably follow the couple and members of their family around for a bit. And I am looking forward to getting this perspective of Jewish culture meeting Burmese culture, which I don't know so much about, so it will be enlightening. Next, staying on theme here, is Queen for a Day. It's a novel in stories by Maxine Roseler, which I did also find through the Jewish Book Council or some other Jewish site a couple of years ago. It is a Jewish-inspired fiction I figured I would read from the flap. The reader knows by page 1 of Queen for a Day that Mimi Slavich's 3-year-old son is autistic, but if anyone told her, she wouldn't listen because she doesn't want to know. Until at last Danny's behavior becomes so strange that even she can't ignore it. After her son's diagnosis, Mimi finds herself in a world nearly as isolating as her son's. It is a world she shares only with mothers like herself, women chosen against their will for lives of sacrifice and martyrdom. Searching for miracles, begging for the help of heartless bureaucracies, while arranging every minute of every day for children who can never be left alone, they exist in a state of perpetual crisis. Normal life is always just out of reach. In chapters told from Mimi's point of view and theirs, we meet these women, each conflicted, complex character, totally unsuited for sainthood, and dreaming of the day she can just walk away. Taking its title from the 1950s reality TV show in which the contestants, housewives living lives filled with pain and suffering, competed with each other for deluxe refrigerators and sets of stainless steel silverware, Queen for a Day portrays a group of imperfect women living under enormous pressure. Rosalard tells their story in ironic, precise, and vivid prose, with dark humor and insight born of first-hand experience. So yeah, the Jewish content in this is not apparent from that flap. Presumably one of the mothers at least is Jewish, but what this makes me think of immediately is Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, which was a big book a couple of years ago, and it took place at a treatment center for people with autism and also other issues, but the book actually focused very much on the mother of an autistic son who'd kind of had enough. And this is of interest to me. I myself am on the autism spectrum, but it's, a very different sort of reality than the autism that will be portrayed in this book, where, people can't live on their own without this constant help and supervision. And I can understand how that can be so draining on caretakers. And it seems like it might get into a little bit of satire in a way when we're talking about depressed housewives, vying for commercial items, and maybe that's what these women will be dealing with as well in this setup. So I will be curious to find out. And to break the mold a bit, this is not a Jewish story now. This is the Souvenir Museum, which is actual stories, not, stories for a novel, by Elizabeth McCracken, which came out last year, I believe. And I was hoping that it would be up for contention for the BookTube Prize, but I don't think it even made the possibility for the long list, so alas. But I'm still curious to give this a go. In fact, I have McCracken's last short story collection, a signed collection, up here somewhere. it's in this area somewhere. So I enjoyed that very much, and I would definitely like to give her another go, and hopefully I will be getting to that soon. And finally, this doesn't come from the Friends of the Library, but I bought it recently from a bookseller on Abe Books, which is like an umbrella organization, I think mostly for used booksellers. I bought Udall and Other Stories by Lael Silbert. So this has a lot of recurring themes. This is a Jewish collection by an author who I believe was writing in the early 20th century is when she was living and writing, and I found her through the Jewish Book Council, where they sometimes, highlight collections from historical Jewish figures. And this is short stories and a novella, kind of bridging the gap between short stories and short stories as a novel. And I bought this because it is near the top of my Goodreads TBR, and I have a resolution of trying to knock those books off and try reading them. And I'm excited to give a historical author a chance, although I see from the Goodreads page this is a very low-rated book. This is I think 2.19 is the average rating, which is far lower than I think a lot of readers would ever dare to dream of seeing. I hear booktubers say, oh my god, this is a low-rated book, it's 3.5. So this is way low, but I'm still eager to give it a go. I definitely respect Goodreads. I use Goodreads a lot, but I think I can also come to my own conclusions sometimes, and my interest outweighs the rest in this case. And I plan to be reading this next month, which is my birthday month in July, and I privilege a little bit of short story reading during that month. So stay tuned, where I'll talk about this collection and other short story collections as well. So that about covers it for me now. Speaking of Goodreads, I will leave the Goodreads links for all of these books listed down below if you'd like more information. I seem to be outrunning my low battery on my camera, which is a good thing, as well as a looming storm that seems to be congealing outside my window might be turning into something more significant soon, so huzzah, nice to get this done before that. We only have a few more days left in June by now, but I hope to be back for my final video of the month, the big video of the month, which is a perennial BookTube favorite for the mid-year freakout tag. And also I actually do a bit of a conglomerate tag for that. I also add in some questions from the less famous check-in tag and some other questions as well. So I'm really excited to get to this and to take a deep dive into my reading for the past half year. So stay tuned. And keep making your own videos as well. I'm really enjoying watching them. But yeah, I guess that about covers it for now. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you next time.